So, Edward, there hasn't been much conversation about the ending of violence. What is violence for you?
The word stop or stop.
Well, that word is plastered everywhere you go. Traffic lights and, you know, such. That's a big ask to... Now, come on. Now, the stop and the stop. I mean, what one calls stop is not the same as another stop. There can be two different meanings in different contexts.
It's actually, stop is the same no matter what context you look at it. It's still a violent action. But the use of language is violent to begin with, because it's second. You could call it a second-class citizen. It's always pointing towards the reality of something, but it's never the reality. So it's always violent. It's always dead.
Okay, so are you saying that until we end language, there is always going to be what is called violence on this earth?
Yes.
Okay, so the tool of language, the tool of sound, configured in a certain manner, that the ending of that will be the ending of violence on this earth. How do you see? No, not how. What is it that needs to be done to do this?
Fred, it would seem that you've already you have already ran past it. Damn, I'm an English teacher and I didn't know it. It seems that you have run past it. So we were at that place for a moment, and then we ran right past it. So we kind of drew a distinction, saying that the ending of language would be the beginning of the ending, or be the ending of violence. But we didn't allow that. So if we could see that the ending of language is the ending of violence, then we could begin from there. You see what I'm pointing towards?
Perhaps. Perhaps. I was initially inquiring into how you saw this word violence, because it's not the same for all. So we're at the stage where language, we're at the place of no language, Edward.
Yes, if we were moved real slowly, we could say, well, all right. Yes, the perfect example of ending violence would be the ending of language, but obviously at this point we need language for certain parts of our lives. So what is it we could do to keep parts of the language and yet end the violence?
Can you rephrase that question? Because it sounded like there was something necessary to be done.
Well, I would say, what is it that we can do that would retain the use of our language and yet end the violence that's an ebbing tide? Well, so is it possible that we could hold on to our language, to our linguistic action, and still end violence?
Well, the use of language is violence itself. It's like saying, how do I dig this garden with this fork, but not use the fork?
Yeah. Yeah, what can we do for that to happen?
Well, we could use a spade, but that's just a fork under a different guise.
Exactly. So we're not getting very far with this, are we?
We have to come up with something that hasn't been there before. A frugal Freimerheimer. A frugal Freimerheimer is nothing.
We could come to the place, however, together that says we do not know. Could we not?
Well, as I see it, that place is there. The place, that place of not knowing is can I say it's a constant? I don't want to use that word constant for some reason. But we could in fact say anything we like. Is it not, Edward, the seeing of the impermeability of everything that seems real, that at that point of seeing what is called the illusion, or the nothing, or the everything, that the importance of language, or not the importance, the relevance, what's the word? It won't come. The delusion of language is seen and takes its proper place in the scheme of things.
Well, Fred, I would guess that I don't know. We don't know. I would guess that we don't know what to do to end the violence. If violence is the use of words, then what is it that we can do to continue using the words and still end the violence?
Yes. Well, it is in fact not necessary to use words unless it is.
You're struggling to know the answer. I wonder if we could come to that place of not knowing the answer together. Would that double the void created to actually not know the answer?
But it was well spoken. You've got to say that. So, Edward, coming to the place of I do not know, then all possibilities are present, I guess. Well, from that place of I do not know, then there is an opening. Yes.
Yeah, I would say that all of the answers, if there are any answers, are in the unknown. And to come to the place of the unknown, actually not knowing, would be perfect.
Yes. Well, then there's the possibility from the not knowing for something to arise, an insight perhaps.
Yes, yes. Actually, if that insight were to arise and we didn't know, then we'd be in the exact place to discover and or see that insight.